Morning, good morning. Here we are with Curious Sports Pulse. My name is Gabriel. What a game last night that was between the Indiana Fever and Chicago Sky. That's what I'm talking about. I enjoyed every moment of it. And if you were here with on the watch party with us, I said before that fourth quarter, I said, "Wow, this game is really playing out like the previous game in which the Indiana Fever, it's close around the half, but then the Indiana Fever have a really strong third quarter. And it really looked like, and ultimately they pulled away and won. But it really looked like we were going to see the same thing yesterday with that game. But no. Instead, Angel Reese showed exactly why there is a legitimate discussion to be had between who is the best rookie in the WNBA this year. And I'm just sticking with the basketball, what we see on the basketball court. I'm not getting into anything else. That can be for another time. But here we are. And I told people through the first 5 or so games that I had Angel Reese over Caitlin Clark. And the simple reason was because, and again, you can't blame Caitlin Clark for this, but sticking to the facts, the team, not only were they not winning, because right, the Chicago Sky have about as many wins as them. Not only was the team not winning, but it looked bad, and Caitlin Clark was forcing a lot, and she looked like it was going to be a very by running the offense exclusively through her, she looked like she was going to be worn down very quickly here. Right, the WNBA scheduling, the WNBA season versus college, two different things completely. So now, fast forward here, we are at almost out of June, getting ready for July, and credit the Indiana Fever. They made a couple of coaching adjustments. Mainly, Caitlin Clark is playing off the ball more, and more offensive possessions are running through Aaliyah Boston. I like both of those things. And so then this allows Caitlin Clark to be Steph Curry esque as needed, or for her to pick her moments. Now, there were times, particularly in that fourth quarter, where, and I will say this time blue in the face, she is always more than capable of making these ridiculous shots that from God knows where. She really is. But it also must be said, if you're taking a three from from considerable range, let's say 26, 30 feet out, I don't think she shot that far, but you get what I'm saying, where it's noticeably beyond the 3-point range. When you take that kind of shot, particularly when the other team is on a run, you have to make those shots, unfortunately, in a make or miss league. And why do I say this? Because it weighs on your teammates, and it can be demoralizing if your best player is taking those shots and missing, and now you're scrambling to go back on defense. That's just a matter of fact. Particularly when you consider, and now you have to give them full credit for the third quarter, them being the Indiana Fever. Let's not dismiss that. What the Indiana Fever did in that third quarter. Let's actually focus on that for a moment. What the Indiana Fever did in that third quarter was really, really good. And that's why they looked like a team that is frankly better than what they were at the beginning of the year. And it genuinely looked like that they had outlasted the Chicago Sky. And in the debate between what would you rather have, a good front court player or a good backcourt player, in that moment, heading into the fourth, it looked like the answer was you would rather have a good backcourt player. Because let's also acknowledge this. Both Caitlin Clark and Angel Reese had good games, and both up to that point were having good evenings for themselves. But the guard play from the Indiana Fever Chicago missing a lot of shots. I would say rushing a little bit too in their shot selection. I would say that. And then Indiana really just securing everything down low between Nalissa Smith and Aaliyah Boston. It looked like this was a team in the Indiana Fever that had turned the corner and was flatly ready for this moment onward to be a dangerous WNBA team. And it looked like there was almost a gap. And a little more on the Indiana Fever for a moment. This is a team that, again, like I said, really, really bad. Really, really bad basketball, really poor basketball. And right, you wonder Caitlin Clark being pushed around. Why, at the very least, even if you don't have an enforcer on your team, at the very least, you'd like to see teammates rush to help her up. That's the norm at any level of basketball. Shoot, that's the norm in pickup basketball. Stay down, let me pick you up. You know, we weren't even seeing that. Caitlin Clark was frustrated by, the physicality and the refs letting them play, and where there were undoubtedly there were some fouls that weren't called, but still, you could tell that she was getting frustrated and that certain aspects were bothering her, and that's fair. But at the same time, let's also be fair that, and this goes for anyone, right? Luka Doncic, Angel Reese, Tom Brady, right? It also goes without saying that it can be contagious to let your feelings show when it is these little things that you then let affect your play. So, right, it's one thing to complain about officiating. LeBron James did it nonstop. I mean, Michael Jordan did it nonstop. I don't care. I don't care how you remember those earlier Chicago Bulls days, right? More, it's fine to yap at the refs and it's fine to nitpick at things, but you can't let it affect your play, right? You can't let it affect your transition defense. So that third quarter, everything was going well. Everything was swimming well. So everything was swimming well. That's not how that saying goes, but moving on, right? Everything was going well and everything looked fine. But then that fourth quarter comes. Sorry, I should finish my thought for a second. So, right, it's fine to complain about officiating. It's fine to point stuff out like that. Just don't let it affect your work. If you let it affect your work, that's then when you have to take a moment of pause. That's then when you have to reevaluate. And so during that third quarter, every domino was falling in the direction of Indiana. Everything was looking good. And like I said, it looked for a brief moment that that Indiana just had flatly figured it out and that they were ready to go on a longer run as the better team in the WNBA. And like I said, that debate of what would you rather have, a good front court player, a good backcourt player, in that moment for sure it looked like the answer for everyone should have been a good backcourt player because the advantage was clearly through the forwards with Chicago and clearly with the guards with Indiana. And it just flatly looked like Chicago was a step slow and that they could do nothing about it. If the shot starts falling, then good luck, GG's. But then that fourth quarter comes, and I don't know if you saw what I saw, but Angel Reese took over. And this is someone in Angel Reese who, let's evaluate Angel Reese again. I'm just sticking with basketball. She is someone who she is going to give you those hustle plays. She is someone who, almost like in soccer, like a box to box midfielder, right? So she plays both ends of the court willing to do the little stuff, willing to do the dirty work, etc. But one element that she has been working on and really showcased yesterday was A, her willingness to post up, and then B, when she does post up, some of her go-to moves down low. That was really what impressed me. And shout out to Joe. Oh, I don't know why I have NFL QBs on here. My fault. My fault. Shout out to Joe who accurately brought up feet work. Shout out Shaq. And footwork, feet work, good fundamental play. Call it whatever you want. That level that she is, that I don't want to go so far as to say but that level that she continues to work on and that you can noticeably see improved, that's what's impressing me. So her willingness to, not settle, her willingness to continue to work on and then try in a live game what she's working on. That's what really impressed me from Angel Reese yesterday. And then we all saw what happened. Gets 3-and-1s. I was going crazy. I'm in a group chat where I'm delayed because if you watch any of our live streams, ESPN is like a minute to 2 minutes at best, and those are on a good days behind the actual stream. And I'm always 2 minutes behind ESPN. So that was something. Um and but either way, when I saw the three and the what was it? I think it was the second and one where she gets that pass from Mabry, she catches it, pirouettes damn near, and then gently glides it in. I was impressed. I flatly was. So, and then she, just her willingness to then be aggressive, not settle, puts the team on her back, cleans up the defensive boards, tries to create second chance offensive possessions for her team on the offensive glass. I mean, it was nothing short of spectacular. And take rookie out of it. She was the best and WNBA player on the court yesterday. I almost had a Freudian slip there, but she was the best WNBA player out on the court yesterday. Cardoso, I think she's still getting her win. She's still trying to figure it out. Um, uh, uh, would like to see her improve on her lateral quickness a little bit, just so that she doesn't get. Um, she got two really chippy or ticky tack fouls, but I think if she works on her footwork and works on her anticipation, I think she'll largely be fine because it's very clear for anyone who has been watching. This is a physical league, and the refs will let a lot of stuff go. And then, case in point, Angel Reese was so good last night. I don't know why I brought Cardoso up randomly, but that was just something that stuck in my mind as well. Case in point, Angel Reese was so good last night that they were face guarding her while she was clearly out of bounds and on the at the bench. Because I guess they didn't want her grabbing another offensive board or something. But either way, so she finishes with 25 points off of 12 shots, 16 boards, three on the offensive end. Really fantastic game by Angel Reese. Then getting in the mix on defensively, altering shots, challenging shots. Didn't have a block, but her impact was felt in the paint. It really was. And now we go on to the other side. What can we look forward to? I've made this case before, and I maintain it that. And again, this is really from Joe. I guess I shouldn't be taking credit for Joe's point, but I agree with it. So that's why I was speaking as if I had just come up with it on the spot. This was what Joe said. And I agree with it. The Olympic break, first of all, we need to fix it because I hate that there's a month off and then you get a month left of games of the regular season. Don't love that. I think that needs to be addressed somehow, even if it is only once every 4 years. Um, Right, it feels like there could be a better solution out there. But anyway, forget about that necessarily. Um, where is that going with? Oh, you're right. The Olympic break. it was looking, and we brought this up yesterday. We brought this up on our stream yesterday that the Olympic break could come at a really good time for the Indiana Fever. And then the Indiana Fever went on a decent run. They were playing good ball. And then we questioned whether this was sustainable. As of right now, you have to say, well, it looks like they can be had. And it looks like the recipe is still to take advantage in the front court, frustrate Caitlin Clark, and hope that they settle for jumpers early in the shot clock, and that you can live with that. Now, on the other hand, when this offense is going, particularly, I like the two-man game between her and Aaliyah Boston. I'll say two-man game. Like it's just the term. But anyway, I like it, but what I don't like is then Aaliyah Boston getting the ball out of it and shooting a long two or even a three-pointer. So she made one yesterday, but that's not a shot I want to see her take, or consider, let alone take too often. And Aaliyah Boston. So if you're gonna play that pick and roll, I want Aaliyah Boston going to the basket. I don't want her settling for long jump shots. That's not her forte. That's not her strength, and that's not how she can get the other team on their toes and in potential foul trouble. So don't love that. Didn't love that from Aaliyah Boston last night. And now moving forward, this team is trying to find that balance. And the Indiana Fever, they're in something of a growing pain stage, in which they are trying to. They started off the season almost exclusively, almost 100% running a college basketball offense. You know, we have one star, everything's going to go through her, and she has to be spectacular. But I will say the next step is now finding better ways to get everyone more involved. Finding, I wouldn't mind more pin action, some more screens set for Caitlin Clark so that we can just get her wide open looks, because Caitlin Clark, again, we can say what you want about her fourth quarter, but she did finish 5 of 9 from 3. So I would like to, like, why are we forcing Kate? She can be spectacular one-on-one, particularly with that step back. But I would like to see the Indiana Fever run a little bit more of an offense and just get Caitlin Clark easier looks. Or the other team overcommits, doubles Caitlin Clark, and then we really get a 4v3 on the other side. And then hopefully her teammates start to make layups. And I shouldn't laugh about that because, right, NBA players miss layups all the time too. But it should be said, I think this is fair. The rate in which easier looks are missed is definitely significantly and noticeably higher at the WNBA level at the moment. And all that is, it's not a lack of skill, it's just a lack of composure in that moment down low. So what, it doesn't matter if you're small or big, if you have composure down there and just trust your game, trust what you've been doing, and you should be fine. Jordan.
Morning, Gabe.
What's up, Jordan?
Doing good, doing good. How are you?
Good morning. Good morning. Um, we're actually about to get out of here. Believe it or not, we're going to cover the cricket game in a moment, but you can hop on there, and it's two. It can be. I labeled it as one American trying to understand what the hell is going on, and but we can just talk shop there too. But either way, for this video, closing thoughts on what you saw last night from the Chicago Sky Indiana Fever game.
It was basically a good, very good game, very good game. Like, it was a great comeback win from the Sky. It was a strong game by Angel Reese and the Chicago Sky. Like, it's gonna be a fun rivalry to see in the next 5 to 10 years.
What was that about 5 to 10 years? Sorry.
the fever in the sky. It's gonna be a fun rivalry in the next 5 to 10 years.
Oh, like Brady Manning.
Yeah, like exactly like Brady Manning, Bird versus John Speck in college, and all the other stuff.
Hell yeah, Jordan. Like I said, I was planning on this being short because I have to get ready for the cricket game, and by get ready, I mean we're gonna learn what cricket is. But Jordan, thanks for hopping on though. Anyway, so you can, if you want, you can hop on for that. But if you're busy / catching a couple more Z's, all good, all good.
Yeah.
Go ahead, plug yourself since you're here, Jordan. Plug yourself. Why not?
JJ16898, Twitter, Instagram, all that stuff. You can follow my work on social medias, all that stuff. And yeah, shout out to cricket. We're gonna try and learn what it is and all that good stuff.
Okay, cool. Jordan, we're out of here. Angel Reese, Caitlin Clark, final prompt. Final prompt. Who do you right now have as the better WNBA player?
I still think like even though Caitlin Clark statistically is the better player, like Angel needs to improve her inside paint. But other than that, Reese. Her teammates are rallying around her. Like,
yeah, true. And you have been saying that actually for throughout the year. So credit to you, Jordan. You're ahead. The Seattle Storm get their win over the Connecticut Sun, just like what you called to. We're out of here for now. See you on the other side.